What is going on, everybody? Welcome out to another episode of Gamers Got a Game. It's just me this week. Adam had some family stuff that just came up. Nothing bad, but family comes first in almost every situation. Yeah, but yeah, so it's just me today. Got a whole list of stuff for you. So see if we just get right into it. Starting with. You ever wonder why Arlene Sorkin, original voice actress for Harley Quinn, may she rest in peace? You ever wonder why she gave up the roles, why she decided not to do it anymore? CBR is asking the same question. They're wondering, did Arlene Sorkin stop playing Harley Quinn because of the Arkham Asylum outfit? Well, take a look here. An interesting aspect of Harley Quinn's popularity as a character is that she debuted outside the world of comic books, debuting in Batman the Animated Series, but perhaps the biggest moment in terms of her popularity overall also occurred outside the comic book world, as was Harley's appearance in the blockbuster 2009 video game Batman Arkham Asylum, that really helped catapult Harley to a major character in pop culture. Which honestly, I don't know of any other examples outside of Harley Quinn where such a thing happened, where you're a character for a comic book uh based series that was created outside of the comic books and then became canon. Outside of Harley Quinn, I don't know if any other characters accomplished such a thing. If anybody has any examples, I would love to see them. And of course, Harley went through some design changes between her classic animated series appearances and her appearance in Arkham Asylum wearing the sexy nurse outfit, as seen here. Arlene Sorkin, the original voice of Harley Quinn, voiced the character in the first Arkham Asylum video game, but did not return for his 2011 sequel, Arkham City. One popular theory amongst fans was that Sorkin objected to how Harley was redesigned for the video game. Here is a fan on social media. So basically, someone had the theory of why Harley Sorkin didn't reprise the role of Harley Quinn for Arkham City was because the outfits were getting too sexy. This is just a theory. Let's go on to see down here what did Tara Strong said about her taking over from Arlene Sorkin. It's fair to point out when Rocksteady Studios replaced Sorkin with Tara Strong for Arkham City, the company did not release a statement as to why the change was made. In fact, a few years back, it was asked if Rocksteady and Sorkin. Neither Rocksteady nor Sorkin offered much detail to me about the decision, simply saying the company wanted to shake things up and move in a different direction. Which, yeah, that happens. Where it's, just because an actor plays a character, plays a legacy character, plays a character for X amount of years, doesn't mean that they are entitled to reprise the character for their entire lifetime. It's essentially, it's not their toys. They just get to play with them. And so a company wanting to just like shake things up and like change a voice, especially in the Batman franchise, really isn't that far fetched. Uh, Tara Strong's response. I think for me, most challenging thing that happened would be Harley because the role was created for Arlene Sorkin, who I worked with alongside Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy when I was Batgirl, and was the most exciting time ever. She's such an extraordinary talent and so beautiful and loved. What did Arlene Sorkin say about Arkham Asylum back in the day? Not only that, but Sorkin was interviewed about the the video game in 2011, and she was complimentary of it all. She was interviewed by Ben Wan in 2011. She said she noted about the game, "It's quite remarkable the way these characters look. Really three-dimensional." She added that Harley in the game seemed very much like the Harley that I know. So to answer the question, did Arlene Sorkin stop playing Harley Quinn because of the outfits? Sounds like no. What's more, when she did a follow up with Juan after the news came out about Strong replacing her, she noted, "Of all the people to be replaced by, I'm happy it's Tara Strong." So, hey, the casting directors made a very good choice. And again, Arlene Sorkin, he's hard to beat the original voice of an original character. But I think that the casting, at least on the animation side, for Harley Quinn has been handled very well. Let's see what else we got down this way. We've got TMNT creator explains why Michelangelo needed to be the last Ronin. There was never a second choice. So, for anyone who, spoilers, sorry, anyone who hasn't read The Last Ronin, uh, the last, it's further in the future. Only one Ninja Turtle is alive. Guess what? It was Michelangelo. But why was it Michelangelo? Creator Kevin Eastman explains why Michelangelo is The Last Ronin and gives an update on a highly anticipated video game, The Last Ronin. Was originally a 5-issue miniseries produced by IDW in the beginning of 2020. Michelangelo, the last of his family, returns to New York to avenge his brothers and father. Also, while attempting to free the city, he runs into April O'Neil, meets his daughter, a resistance fighter. While it began in the miniseries, The Last Ronin continued with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin Lost Years and Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution, which I'm honestly interested to check out. Both The Lost Years, just because it'll fill in more of that story, but also The Last Ronin 2, because it's a whole new generation of turtles set in that timeline. And I'm curious to see how they hash that out. All I do know about the that follow up is that the names don't follow they follow a different trend, that they're not being named after Renaissance artists. In an exclusive interview with Screen Rant, Eastman shared why Michelangelo was always going to be the last Ronin. He compared to Michelangelo to other underdog heroes like Sarah Connor and Luke Skywalker. Then gave an exciting update on the last Ronin video game, which, again, I'm excited for. I don't know about you guys. Eastman said, quote, "Michelangelo? Yes, Michelangelo was for me the original idea, even going back to when Pete and I originally penned the concept in 87, that there would be one remaining turtle. It always felt natural that the least likely of whom would have to rise to this level." Yeah, I mean, seeing the party dude turn to be like, yeah, just to see that kind of really like change. I mean, from Michelangelo, the party dude, Cowabunga, to I'm going to avenge my family. That definitely was yeah. Felt natural, least likely who would have to rise to this level, some kind of Ripley or Sarah Connor. The complete underdog of Luke Skywalker. If he will rises to the level, they have to arrive to become the last Ronin to complete the massive story arc. But there was never a second choice for me that other than Michelangelo. Honestly, yeah, because I mean Leonardo, be a little too on the nose. Raph and uh, Donatello, they just don't fit. Michelangelo, he would have the most, basically would have the most growth out of all of them. So I can definitely see why. And then with the new video game, we've definitely had a number of conversations with the team developing it, and they're just killing it. Ripped right from the pages of the comic book. Looks like these guys are huge fans of The Last Ronin 2, so I'm proud of what they're doing. Again, Much like Mutant Mayhem, the passion is in there every way. And I myself am excited for the last Ronin video game. I haven't checked out Mutant Mayhem. I think it might be a little late to catch it in the theaters. I might just wait for it to come out on streaming. Uh I've heard things about it. I'm gonna reserve, I'm not gonna really say anything about it until I see it myself. Uh, I for one, I'm the I'm old enough. I grew up with the '80s cartoons and the '90s movies, so that's kind of my iteration for that. The kind of like in between, like other iterations between like that and the Michael Bay movies, I didn't really see a lot of, but from what I did see, it was like it was fine. And then I really wasn't too big a fan of the Michael Bay ones. I just feel like I don't know, I feel like it didn't focus enough on the turtles. I think it felt more like just like April O'Neil the movie, which like fine, but like it's not what I came for. It's not what I paid for. And speaking of Ninja Turtles, there's a fun crossover happening, or that could be happening. Evidently, according to Eastman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a Daredevil crossover will happen. And give me just one sec while I try to block out a little bit of a little bit of the light. Okay, that's better. Kind of. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles probably don't, but doesn't exist without Marvel's Daredevil. This is true. If look back at the interviews, it was definitely inspired by Daredevil. I think it was supposed to be a parody of Daredevil. The initial concept. Correct me if I'm wrong. Co-creators Eastman and Laird have been open in the past about how their work in the original TMNT was influenced by Frank Miller's work on the character, and the designs are all there, even if you don't know it. Like, again, I think it was sort of intended to be a parody. Happens in my mind a lot and often. That's something I sincerely believe will happen, but if not, I'll just do it for free and put it out. But the thing is, Daredevil as a character, long before Frank Miller, I grew up on Bill Everett, Wally Wood, Bob Brown, Gene Colan. Daredevil was my guy. I gravitated towards more. I don't want to say grounded, but if you had Daredevil, Captain America, and Batman, there were similarities of more human, accessible characters. But Daredevil was my favorite, especially but certainly when Frank Miller came in and issue 158 blew us away. It was just epic. Uh, and I think I skipped it in this article, but yeah, like the Ninja Turtles have had all sorts of different crossovers, be it with Batman, Power Rangers, Mortal Kombat, or not Mortal Kombat, Injustice. Unfortunately, it seems like the biggest hurdle standing in the way of a proper TMNT Daredevil crossover would be the House of Ideas themselves, Marvel, which, yeah, that makes sense. They, yeah, Marvel just kind of got really weird, but not the kind of weird where like anthropomorphic mutated turtles could just show up. But I think, given enough time, hopefully it's within, Kevin Eastman's lifetime where this happens, but I do see it happening eventually. I mean, multiverse. Use that for any reason. Uh, and saying here that it's seeming more likely because Eastman has done work for Marvel in the past. So fingers crossed. I could see like the turtles meeting their hero. That would be interesting indeed. What else we got? We've got, or actually, wait, hang on. What we've got So anybody who grew up with Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, they have had a lot of good, license games based on Disney properties. You know, Ducktales, the Aladdin games were good, and what we have here now is Gargoyle remaster. Let's take a look.
1,000 years ago, superstition and the sword ruled.
Oh, okay, so they're
It was
keeping
a time
the
of darkness.
16-bit kind
It was
of
the
look.
age
That was the old
of
one.
gargoyles, frozen in stone by a magic spell.
I had trouble with that game. Like, I couldn't figure it out.
Now the spell is broken, and we live
Yeah.
again.
Oh, that looks just like the cartoon, man. That looks awesome. Oh, yeah. I love that. Okay, rewind. That's not bad for when learning.
Stone by day, warriors by night. We are
man.
defenders of
All
the
right.
night. We are gargoyles.
All right, that rules. That rules. I love it when these remakes and remasters, they do the like switch between the new and the old graphics. It just, yeah, it just works out because it's good for people who, you know, it's in a way like that's a way of doing like game preservation done right. Is you have the old brand, you have the old way, and like even recently with the Tomb Raider remakes, they're doing something similar with like you can switch between like the old style and the new style. You can play with the old control scheme for those who played it back in the day, and the new control scheme for people who are maybe experiencing it for the first time. Just to have those options is it's doing it right. It's doing it right. Going back to crossovers, Pokemon Van Gogh. Pokemon gonna be in the Van Gogh Museum. Check it out. The Pokemon Company has teased a collaboration with the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. It seems like the collaboration will start on September 28th, and more information will be revealed soon. Pokemon Company has teased a collaboration with the Van Gogh Museum. I just read that. My apologies. The teaser trailer shows Eevee and Pikachu running through a field of sunflowers, and the sky turns to. Well, you know, let's just peek here. I don't know if it has audio, but basically, yeah, you see Pikachu and Eevee. They're like, what is art? That looks really cool. Oh, look at that. All right. Coming soon. It's not soon enough. Know more about the collaboration later this month. All right, so what I'm getting from it is that there's going to be a lot of Pokemon art in the style of Van Gogh. What's more, I could see like a special like set of Pokemon cards with the Van Gogh style. That would be really cool. That I would love to see. Like kind of like a especially like you would have to go to the museum and that could be like a little like souvenir take home thing. It'd be great to see like that example of the Van Gogh painting. It looked really good. It would be neat to see. I'm sure I don't know if they'll do like all 1,000 or whatever Pokemon that exist right now as Van Gogh paintings, but definitely some of the more iconic ones, like obviously like Pikachu and Charizard and all that, but then also, maybe at least the starters, and then like, oh wait. Do some ghost Pokemon like that. Yeah. So we'll find out more in not even 2 weeks. We'll get to find that out. And while you're waiting, why don't you rent a movie? Where you ask? Where you ask indeed. As I need to reshare my screen. Hold on. From the largest video store in America named Scarecrow. Scarecrow, the largest movie and TV rental store in the United States and one of the largest in the whole world, is offering its massive archive up for the whole country just in time for Netflix ending its own rent by mail system. So rentals aren't dead, as I am displaying. The Seattle based video store announced on Tuesday that it will offer a buy mail service that will allow customers to rent most titles from its library and have them shipped straight to their door. So, for anyone who may not remember, sorry, I needed that. Anyone who might not remember, Netflix wasn't always a streaming service. Way back when, like, this is maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago at the very least. Netflix would just ship DVDs to your door, kind of eliminating the need to go to a video store like Blockbuster. And they moved away from that once it got to streaming, and now Netflix is ending its own rent by mail. To take advantage of Scarecrow's new offering, the users will just need to make an account on the Scarecrow website. All right. Account will have to be manually approved. Kind of makes sense. Maybe they're not equipped to just have it go automatically. Plus, it's a finite resource. Once it's approved, you can search the store's library and select whatever titles you'd like and head on to the checkout. Orders can contain up to 6 discs, giving you room to rent TV seasons or multiple movies. And each shipment will cost a flat $12 fee that includes return postage. So it sounds like if you want to get the best deal out of this, you would want to max out and get 6 discs at a time. Rentals will last for 14 days, including shipping time. That I feel is kind of a bummer. Like, say, what if you live, like, this is shipping from Seattle? What if you live in Florida? Then you don't have that much time. You have less time. Scarecrow is known for a staggeringly large collection of data, which includes over 145,000 titles, making it one of the most impressive and comprehensive collections of movie and TV anywhere in the world. By comparison, Netflix had a little under 14,000 titles in its entire worldwide library. On the Mountain Media, particularly great selection of hard to find titles, making the mail-in option particularly great to find resource for fans who are interested in wandering off the beaten path of streaming services like Netflix or Max. However, one limit of the buy mail service that it does include Scarecrow's out of print or irreplaceable films, which is pretty understandable. So, for example, Dogma, a movie that basically had like a limited run. It didn't get too much in print, so may or may not be able to get that one. Who knows? All I know is I'm glad to see rentals are still alive. What isn't alive? Borderlands current owners. Gearbox is up for sale. Reportedly up for sale. Gearbox, the U.S. company behind Borderlands, is reportedly up for sale. Weighing its options, one of which is a sale. Apparently, Embracer had received interest from a number of third parties. Neither Embracer nor Gearbox have issued comment. Going under significant restructuring. Seen closure of Volition, which sorry to the Saints Row players. Savvy Games Crew. Close studios to cancel games, $2 billion deal. Yeah, it's the thing that kind of sucks about these like buyouts and these consolidations and that is there's always some sort of sacrifice in the media. Like again, anything that was being developed by Volition probably gone. Borderlands 4 is probably gonna have a very different feel when if it gets there. Embracer Group has also picked up Crystal Dynamics. So again, like while whatever current projects they were working on might be out of the way, in Crystal Dynamics case, they do have that Tomb Raider remaster, which is looking pretty good. They might even revive something like Legacy of Kain. That would be awesome. What else we got? Speaking of nothing. Creator of Wolf Among Us is set to release Wolf Among Us, among other things, into the public domain. Bill Willingham, the creator of comic book series Fable, says he can now own his work fully and for all time. Willingham has released his work, which served as the basis for Telltale Games' Wolf Among Us, to public domain, mostly because he can't afford to sue DC Comics. A lengthy post, been pretty in-depth explaining his beef with the publisher. He said people he negotiated with 20 years ago had been replaced. No measurable integrity, who now choose to interpret every facet of their contract ways that only benefit DC Comics and its owner companies. Based on Willingham's account of what happened, DC would routinely overlook his input in things like artists for covers, formatting new collections. That's pretty innocuous compared to his other allegations, though, including getting royalties late or DC underreporting royalties so as not to pay them what he's owed. But the artist said that the company recently went beyond these mere annoyances and tried to forcibly take Fable's ownership for him. Corporate greed fucking sucks. Is what this boils down to. So because Willingham doesn't have the means to fight, he just has to let the license expire. Which again is another again, like it sucks for him because now he doesn't even get those royalties. Etc. etc. It's unclear if development will have any effect on Wolf Among Us 2. Yeah, I couldn't say one way or another. Among all the allegations surrounding Justin Roiland being the false imprisonment, domestic abuse, apparently they're also trying to peg him for targeting minors. For series, NBC News published the expose this afternoon. This being written 3 days ago. Confirming details from 11 women and 9 binary people who shared thousands of messages with Roiland from 2013 to 2022, with 9 saying he turned the exchanges sexual. According to the report, 3 of these 9 were 16 at the time, and they started speaking with Roiland. One of the women alleged that Roiland sexually assaulted them on a Tinder date, forcing them to perform oral sex after she told him no. So gross and absolutely despicable if true. Although I feel like at this point, it doesn't really matter what happens to Roiland at this point. If he did the crime, then I hope he gets the appropriate punishment for it. But his career is already dead, so he's already ruined. So it's just kind of putting another nail in that coffin. Speaking of nails and coffins, why is every game developer mad? Well, at least developers that use Unity. Unity's new pricing scheme has brought developers together. So basically, what happened is Unity is like, hey, we're changing our policy. Guess what? You used to be able to distribute, used to be able to do this stuff for free, or if you pay a license for like business or whatever. Now, whenever somebody installs a game, we're charging you 20, 30 cents. As written here, the game company Unity announced changes to its pricing plan that will see developers charge for each time someone installs a game after certain revenue and installation thresholds are met. Which, like, why? Unity has been around, blah, blah, blah. The reaction to the change, which is set to take effect January 1st, has truly been something to behold. Everyone is mad. Yeah, because Unity is mainly used by like indie creators, these small studios, and they can't afford, basically, it's a tax. They can't afford that kind of tax. They need that money to reinvest into their company. And so much so, I don't have anything pulled up here, but the developers behind Cult of the Lamb, they're saying when, come January 1st, they're pulling Cult of the Lamb. They're deleting it off these storefronts because Unity is doing this. People are so mad that the town hall they had is being canceled due to apparent alleged death threats. This Unity debacle has been very unfortunate because, yeah, you're again, I don't know, corporate greed strikes again. Uh, Earlier this week, making the pricing model, news was met with a sizable backlash, understandably so. What is this here? Unity has tweeted some clarifications about the new pricing structure and walked back several unpopular tenets. Developers will no longer be charged for demos or game reinstalls. Good, because that makes no sense. But will be charged for installs on multiple devices, which I still disagree with. I was like, if this is just a forced thing that should be happening, it should be tied to an account, not necessarily a device. Unity also stated that not only expects 10% of its users to be affected by the changes, but again, like, where does it stop? It's because, like, it's like, oh, okay, they're used to these top 10% getting the 20, 30 cents. Let's expand it to 20% of the user base. Let's make it 50 cents. Where does it end? Where does it end? Yeah, sorry, this has been kind of short today. I don't have anybody to bounce off of, and a lot of these stories, I'm not complete. A lot of these stories just they haven't been grabbing me super hard, to be honest. Again, I have nobody to bounce off of, so uh, there's not much conversation to be had. But I will end off with this. Mask of the Phantasm has a 4K release, and in its bonus features, there's a tribute to the late Kevin Conroy. And it's 5 minutes. This is a 5-minute video, so I'm not going to play it. But yeah, just a special tribute to Kevin Conroy, my Batman, the best Batman. Yep. Just if you have the opportunity to watch the movie, watch the movie. If you have the opportunity to buy the 4K, and let me know how that bonus feature is. Let me know how that tribute is. Once again, apologies for this being really short, but I I don't bounce very far when I have no one to bounce off of. So I'll just say this: I hope y'all are having a good weekend, and hopefully we'll both be here next week. Until then, take it easy.